Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel, Ravens Podcast, talking Ravens all day, every day. It's your host Justin P. and my co-host Miss Shannon Finch, the MVP. It's episode 74 for the YouTube channel. Excuse me. All the links are right there in the description for the audio version. On the right along with me and Shannon's social media pages and stuff like that. So also, you know, don't worry, say like and subscribe, share, all that good stuff like that. Co-host got a great show for us today. Some awesome topics. After this show, we're gonna strictly be talking about each week. Recapping and previewing. So you'll see a little media stuff here and there, but not a lot. You're gonna see mainly our thoughts of the game we played and our thoughts on the upcoming game. So, without further ado, I'll turn it over to Shannon. So she can go ahead and conduct this wonderful show. So the floor is yours, co-host.
All right. So I don't know if you saw Josina Anderson's comments about the Ravens, talking about the energy and the chemistry with the team this season. What did you think about her opinion about the team when she was around them and comparing them to the Eagles of last year?
I actually saw that, but I saw it on Twitter. I didn't actually see her say it live, so to speak.
Hmm.
But that's a pretty fair statement because like the Eagles had just the year prior, but for the Super Bowl run, they went to the wild card, loss. They made it a priority. Say, hey man, we got to get Jalen Hurts some weapons. We got to get this and that and the third. Traded for
Hmm.
AJ Brown. Went and signed all these guys on defense, and then boom, you know, took the league over by storm, made a Super Bowl run, and should have won the Super Bowl. But yes,
Hmm.
I can definitely see that because, like I said, we went out and got Odell, went out and got Nelson Aguilar, drafted. Say, like I said, we definitely put a lot of chips on the table, especially offensively. Like, look, man, we all in. Let's
Hmm.
go. Let's go try to win this ship. So yeah, it's definitely a similar type of vibe here going, like it was for Philly. So yeah, we just gotta see how it's gonna play out. Like I said, as long as we remain relatively healthy, because you're never gonna be fully healthy in football. There's no such thing. As long as
Hmm.
we relatively healthy, like you got, I'm missing no guys for a long, important guys for a long period of time. We should be in the thick of things when it's all said and done.
Right. I think that the energy and the chemistry is always based on the leaders and the people that you have leading your team. I think that as far as the energy being different, number one, it's because you have a quarterback that's happy. Obviously, we know that the guys weren't happy with the offense over the past couple of years, to the point where we even had a wide receiver requesting to be traded. So we know Lamar wasn't happy. We've heard a lot of fans locally talking about how different he seemed, especially last year. And I'm gonna write most of that off to the contract talks because I can't imagine that. Trying to go through that and still play a regular season is normal. Like I can't imagine how that feels. So with that being said, I think that the leaders that we have on this team is why we have a different energy and chemistry as well. Now Lamar can feel sure of himself. He's in an offense that he wants to be in. He has offensive guys that he wanted to have around. The Ravens went out and made that happen for him. And then when you look on a defense, having a leader like Roquan, like I think that's something that we've been missing over the years as far as a defensive leader. You could say Mullen Humphrey, but for me, and you could tell me how you felt about this, but the 2019 season, the season Lamar won his MVP, and we lost in the playoffs to the Titans, I believe it was. Marlon Humphrey said something publicly that I didn't care for, even if it's true, right? I didn't care for it because as a player and supposedly a leader of the locker room, the last thing I want to hear after a playoff loss like that is this team's, is known for choking. It was something along those lines of the team being known for choking. And I feel like in a moment like that, when all the guys, did their best, they laid it all out in the field, nobody wants to hear that, they're choking or feel like they're being blamed for whatever may have happened in that game. So that made me realize that Marlon really isn't the leader that we need defensively. Doesn't mean that he's not a guy that people might listen to. But when you come out publicly and you say things like that after a loss, it kind of it can make guys not look like hold you in a high regard.
Hmm.
Um, it made me think about like when we lost to the Patriots in 2011 and that speech that Ray Lewis gave the team, one of the best speeches I ever heard in my life. And he basically just reassured everybody like we're going to be back here. We're going to be back here next year, and we were, and we won. So when you want to be a leader of a team, you have to lead by example. Sometimes if you're not a boisterous guy, you don't have to be that, but don't make your words hurt the team. So when that happened with Marlon, and that was about 3 years ago, it made me look at him different. So it lets me know that we didn't have the leader we needed defensively to be what we needed to be. Having a guy like Roquan be in the building from the start, like last year, we saw the impact he made. He has Ray Lewis in him as far as the leadership skills, ability of what he could do for a team. And I think that's why we're noticing a different energy and chemistry around the team. It's because the guys that we have leading the team this season, they're coming in with a different energy. So that's exciting to hear. As a fan, we don't get to see everything. We don't get to see the behind closed door thing. So to hear that from her, I was like, that's what I want to hear. That's obviously something that's been missing. And I think now we have the right guys on the team to have that type of energy and fun and chemistry. Most importantly, chemistry. If they're healthy, they can get more chemistry. That'll be even better. But I definitely think the biggest reason for the change is the leaders that we have out there right now.
Oh man, well said, co-host. All right, let's go on to the next topic.
hmm
All yours.
So I don't know about you, but I was surprised when Eric DeCosta said that he was getting calls about the Ravens wide receivers. So what did you think about that when you heard Eric DeCosta said he was getting phone calls about our wide receivers?
Uh, Once first couple things that there's talent there. There's talent there, and like when you get Odell Beckham, when you bring in Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers, still got Duvernay Bateman, and at the time we had Prochet Wallace. We had a plethora of guys.
hmm
So well, so it's like people like, damn, they don't need all these receivers. And
hmm
then, like I said, it's the Greg Roman effect. Once we parted ways with him, it was just like a big old cloud lifted off the receiver core. Now receivers want to come here. You know what I mean?
hmm
Mike Evans even said he would like to play here now recently in some little, thing he was talking to somebody. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I didn't.
Yeah, yeah, he was tough. Like he was just listening. Like I don't know what's going on in Tampa. I don't know if he feel like they're going to try to, rebuild. But he was saying he would like to play with Lamar and listen to a couple. Well, basically he did what DeAndre Hopkins did. And then
Mm.
speaking of him, before he signed with Tennessee, he was another one that said he would like to play here. So it was just I'm gonna just say the Greg Roman effect. Once we parted ways with him or mutual, whatever you want to call it, once he was out the building, it just shed a light like yeah he was the issue more so not our receivers. So
hmm
yeah, I mean it's I'm not surprised. Like I said, you got guys and they probably figure like they're not going to use all of them. So yeah, I mean it didn't shock me at all. It just shows that we had a lot of quality receivers in our depth chart.
Well, my thoughts were that Eric DeCosta did his job. One thing that we as fans have been complaining about is the wide receiver position. Some of us have also said that we felt like they weren't used properly, that we did have guys that we liked, but they just weren't used properly. And I think that people got to see a little of that in training camp and even in the preseason, like, whoa, the Ravens have guys. So that made them interested in, are you willing to let anybody go? You want to trade this, that, and the third. So my initial thoughts were just like, Eric DeCosta, you did your job. If you got teams calling you about your guys, and you might have guys to spare, like that's probably how they look at it. You did your job.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, he attacked the receiver position great, and like he didn't just do it by quantity, he did it by quality first, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
why I was impressed. Like
hmm
he just signed. Normally we would sign Aguilar, and probably sign somebody like a guy like Allen Robinson and call it a day. Nah, we
hmm
no shot, no shade to Allen Robinson. He's a solid receiver, but we went
Right.
and got a big time guy in Odell Beckham. So
hmm
we, like I said, we went down. We had like now our five. We look at our receiver core. We like, damn, they got a nice receiver core. Because Nelson
hmm
Aguilar is a former number one. Now he get to go against teams number 4 and 5 corners. That's gonna be a problem. Then
Right.
like I said, Duvernay, you seen what he was doing before he got hurt. And
hmm
then Tyler Wallace, he showed like it wasn't him. He just wasn't utilized right. So we
Yep.
got guys that can hold their own in this wide receiver. It's gonna be. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Me too.
All right. Here's our next topic.
Okay, so the Ravens made some changes to their practice squad over the past couple of days. We released Anthony Brown, which is a guy that I was rooting for, and we signed Tay Hayes. What are your thoughts about that move? And do you think that's cause for concern at the cornerback position?
Uh, they should have left Anthony Brown on the practice squad because you don't got Josh Johnson. You let him walk, get it. He's getting up there in age, fine. But now if something happened, you only got two quarterbacks. Like you should have just left him on the practice squad. Tae Hayes is okay. He doesn't move the needle enough for me to get rid of an emergency quarterback to make space for. And then he's only 5'8". I'm like, you know me. I like small corners on the outside. It's like, I'm not saying he can't hold his own, but if
Hmm.
we're gonna get a corner that's like 6 feet and up, it's like 6'1", 6'2". I'm gonna let you know. All right, if we put him on, if he do got to play, he can at least hold his own and make a play. Because if he 5'9", we got him trying to guard Jamar Chase. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just so. Like I said, I'm sure EDC had his reasons. I know Marlon is going to be out for a little minute. I know Pepe been dealing with some injuries, and but I think they should have definitely kept Anthony Brown in practice squad. 'Cause like I said, anything can happen. And I think we got enough corners. We got like 6, 7 corners on the active roster, and he still got Darius Washington and Brandon Stevens who can go play the nickel and all that. So, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, ADC got his reasons, so I'm gonna let the man do his job.
Now, I think that Josh is on a 53 man roster. I think he's
Oh,
still on the
yes.
team. Yeah, I don't think they
Okay.
released him. Um, but so when I saw that, I thought it was kind of interesting, but then it did give me cause for concern at the cornerback position because, like you said, it's kind of deep back there. So it was like, why do we do that? So then it makes me wonder, like, is it more to it than what we know? Not that they're going to tell us right now, what the concern may be, but
Hmm.
it gave me a reason to be concerned because I was like, I mean, as far as I know, Josh is still on the roster. He's on a 53 man roster. So you kept your three quarterbacks on the roster, and then you signed Anthony Brown to the practice squad. Cool, right? But then you release him to bring in a cornerback when we already feel like that position is kind of deep, and you're expecting Marlon to be back. I would assume before week 5, since you didn't put him on a pup list, right?
Right. Hmm.
So seeing the move was just like, that's interesting. But then it made me say, well, wait a minute now, what's going on? So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it definitely gave me a little concern about making that move.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, I know no offense to him, but he's a pro for reasons, but still, I'd rather than go get somebody that was like I said, just in a bigger frame that way. Because we got enough slot corners. We need another guy if something happened to Rock your center or something like that. Feel me? And we can
Hmm.
put on the outside. But 5'9" corner shit. Like
Yeah.
I said, we shall see. We shall see. Like I said, Eric DeCosta, he get paid the big bucks for a reason, so we'll see.
Hmm.
All right, here's our next topic.
All right. So we touched on this before when we were just talking about guys that haven't been practicing and how do we feel about that. And John Harbaugh mentioned that he expects Mark Andrews to practice Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So that'll be his first time practicing in some time. So my question to you is: should we taper expectations for Mark Andrews for week 1?
Yeah, yeah, in a sense, yeah. It's Wednesday's enough time for him to get acclimated. Then we're playing at home, so that helps a lot. Now he don't have try to figure stuff out while we go on the road. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, and like I said, with the added receivers we got, he's not going to be relied upon heavily. If this was last year, I'll be a little worried. Like, oh, but no, like I said, now with the extra receivers we got and stuff like that, like now he can, we can ease him along. He can whatever he give us is just whatever he give us for week 1, whether
Hmm.
it's 100 yards or 50 yards, whatever he give us, he give us. We just got to be satisfied with it, especially for him practicing for the first time in a couple of days.
Hmm.
So so if people he only had 50 yards on 4 catches, don't zap out. It's week 1, and like you said, we gotta get him in a flow and things like so
Hmm.
everybody don't jump off the hedges and I get the fantasy. We fantasy football people too, but don't let that cloud your judgment. So yeah, I mean, like I said, definitely we should taper it. Just whatever he can give us is whatever he can give us. It's just we can't say oh man he needs to go out there and get 150 yards. If he need
Hmm.
to do that, that means everybody else not doing that job.
Yeah. And I agree 100%. I mean, he hasn't played. We've been talking about like not rushing guys back because we want them to be available later in the season. So definitely, I don't expect him to come out there and have a Mandrews type of game. You know what I mean? And plus, we have we have guys, other guys at the tight end position. So even if he's not totally ready to go week one, you might still have him active, but it doesn't mean, he's going to be out there and doing what he usually does. And like you said, we have more help now. So he probably won't even have the same numbers at that point just because it won't call for that in week one. So like you said, I don't want fans to get upset and say he's done or he's not this or he's not that. I'm with week. He hasn't practiced, you know what I mean? So let's let him get out there, let him get his feet wet. Let's not rush him back to tweak anything anymore because I don't really even know what the injury was. I don't
Right.
know if you know.
I don't.
But yeah, so like let's let him take it easy. I'm glad that he's coming back. That's good news. But let's take it easy. Let's not rush him back. And if he's active for week one, great. If he's not, cool. Like we want you later in the season anyway. So yes, let's take for those expectations for Sunday.
Yeah, and plus, we should be okay with them against the Texans. Not trying to downplay the Texans because they're a pro team, but it don't get no easier than this. It don't. That's
Yeah,
just be honest. It
yeah.
don't get a rookie good coach, rookie quarterback. Uh,
At
all that.
home.
Yeah, at home you got all these Texans receivers are all unexperienced except for Robert Woods. And he's coming off. Well, he's 2 years removed for an injury, so he's still trying to find one. So it don't get no easier. So
Right.
I think we can beat the Bucks and the Saints without Andrews. We should be able to beat the Texans without Andrews. So if y'all feel like, hey man, go ahead and chill. We're gonna need your consistency. That extra week of rest will do good. Go ahead like Kolar and likely rock out. It's
Yep,
just
I agree, a hundred
yeah.
percent.
Like I said, we should be able to beat them without we should be able to beat the Houston Texans without Andrews.
And if we don't, then we got bigger problems.
Tell me about it. What I tell everybody is like if we don't at least win this game by at least two scores, I ain't gonna hit the panic button, but yeah, but I'm definitely gonna scratch my head a little bit because
Yeah.
it don't get no easier than this.
Hmm.
All right, here's our last topic for today.
All right. So I'm gonna need you to put your GM cap on right now, right?
Hmm.
If you were Eric DeCosta, who would be priority number one in the off season? J.K. Dobbins or Patrick Queen?
Well, this is pretty easy. J.K. Reason being, he can't outprice himself. Patrick Queen can. J.K. can rush for 1,500, and it's still gonna be nobody's gonna say, "Shoot, let's go throw 16, 17 million at him." They're gonna be like, teams are still Josh. Look at Josh Jacobs, led the league in rushing. Saquon just did what he and they look. They still, they got to sign 1 year deals and all that franchise tags. So he not gonna be out to outprice himself, and he gonna be a lot cheaper. Whereas so Quinn go there and get 170 tackles, just throwing in about that. Teams are gonna be like, oh man, hey, there you go 5 years, 120. He go he gonna outprice himself, and it's like, what we gonna do? Have two middle linebackers making 100 something million dollars? Like when you drafted Trenton Simpson, you could let him play and just and he on a rookie deal. But yeah,
Hmm.
J.K. Dobbins for those exact reasons. It's gonna be cheaper, and then you don't really trust the other running backs fully like that to just like to move on from him because Gus been more banged up. I love Keaton, but we gotta see it in real time, not just against
Right.
guys who want to be working regular jobs like us.
Hmm.
Justice Hill, you know, special team guy. We gotta. We J.K. is more needed right now. Like I said, Patrick Queen. Not saying he's not needed. We could slide Trenton Simpson there, slide Malik Harrison there, and we'll be okay. But if we're not
Hmm.
having J.K. to run the ball, oof, it might be hard, and then that put more pressure on Lamar now. It had to be perfect. So yeah, definitely J.K. for those exact reasons.
Yeah. You said everything I was going to say as well. It makes total sense to go up to J.K. Dobbins because, like you said, he's going to be cheaper. And even if we had to use a franchise tag on him, it would be cheaper than what it would be to use a franchise tag on Queen. And with
Absolutely.
Patrick Queen, like you said, we just drafted his replacement. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to say it's his replacement, but like you said, if he outpriced himself and we can't get a deal done, we have guys on the roster right now that can step in and that spot and do the same thing, if not better. You know what I mean? I'm not and not the same. You know how I feel about Patrick Queen,
Yeah,
but it's just
I want to keep them too.
yeah,
But I don't want to
yeah,
keep where though we put ourselves in a bind.
yeah, and that's
And
that's that's the biggest thing about it. It's like it got to make sense financially, and I don't think that it will. And I wouldn't want him to take less money. If he wants to stay here and take less money, cool, I'm for it, right? But I wouldn't say I wouldn't encourage it. Like, do what you got to do, get your money. If he leaves for more money, I wouldn't be mad about that because you never know when your career is going to end. You got to get the bag when you can, right? With J.K. Dobbins, I feel like we haven't even really been able to see his full potential yet, just based on his injuries already, right?
Right.
So if he comes in this season and he balls out like we all hope and expect him to do, you daggone right, I'm going to be at his door ready to sign, get a deal done. I might try to get something done before the season ends if I can, you know. So yeah,
That'd be great.
Definitely Dobbins over Queen. And no disrespect to Queen because you know how I feel about him, but it just would make financial sense to go after Dobbins first and lock him down. Let Queen see what's out there. And like I said, he's probably going to get more on the free market anyway.
Ain't no problem. He is. He is. It's his teams just, you know, especially by him and as fast as he is. I tell you, a team like, man, we put him here and coach him up a little bit, man. Whew. Like a team like
Hmm.
Philly might jump out there because you know said they got linebacker issues right now. Miles Jack
Right.
retired, you know.
Hmm.
You got it's a lot of teams that Atlanta they got a boatload of money. Shit, the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans, you know, he's a defensive guy. He might say, you know what, Queen could be that piece of my defense. I mean, boom, 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 make him a nice little offer. So yeah,
Yeah.
so for Patrick Queen playing with house money regardless,
Right.
unless he goes out and get hurt or golf knock on wood or just plays
Of
like
course.
crap.
Right.
But you know, but everything is in his favor. He go out and play well. He won't be here or he will be somewhere else making money. So everything he holds, he controls his own fate.
Yeah, and if he balls out like the first quarter and a half of the season, like you said, those teams that are linebacker needy, they might be calling the Ravens to make a trade. You know what I mean? During the season, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, though.
It all depends how well he playing,
Yeah,
how desperate a team need a linebacker. Because some teams be like, you know what, he gonna hit the market, so we can keep our picks or whatever and just
yeah.
get him
But
in.
guess what? Guess how thirsty the Ravens got during the season. So that's what I'm saying. Like you never know by October what it's going to look like for any of us. You know, that's why I was saying it could be, but if he does leave by the trade deadline, then that's beneficial for the Ravens because we're getting something for him. He
Right.
walks next year, we're not getting anything.
But stuff for
You know,
comp,
maybe a comp, yeah, maybe a
something.
comp pick. You know, so we'll see, we'll see. But like again, if he does get traded, that means he's probably playing pretty well. You
And
know,
and another,
and that means that the Ravens probably feel good about who's behind him.
I was going to say that it depends on Trenton Simpson. If he's like showing flashes, like when he get in the game, they might be like, oh shit, we can go ahead and part ways with him now. He catching on, but I think me personally, they're gonna let him get a full season to learn his defense, like how
Hmm.
Kyle Hamilton did. Then you know, then go from there.
Yeah.
So you know, like I said, either way, the Ravens prepared themselves. Like I said, because you knew that's when they declined the 5th year option, or he probably declined it. We don't know who declined it. Like I said, we just going off what we hear. But once it
Hmm.
wasn't picked up, they were like, all right, we got to prepare ourselves. 'Cause like I said, you know, it's a business. Like I said, somebody
Right.
come offer him what Roquan got, or just a little bit under, he's gonna take it,
Hmm.
and rightfully so. Because like I said, you can snap your leg down a mile. Like you
Right.
want to get that financial security. Fans got to look at it from player side as well, not just a fan. I get it. We want to win,
Hmm.
all that. That's fine, but you got to understand. You know, you look at it from their side of it. Like they can't play this game forever.
Right.
And it's like it's one of the most physical sports besides boxing and hockey. Like so, they got to get every dollar they can. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, what they say right here, Kel 17. Fuck with Anthony Brown too. Yeah, yeah, all of us do. Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, you said Johnson did make the 53, Shannon.
Yeah. Yeah. He's on the
When I
team.
say reason I asked when I saw the little printout of the official thing on the website or on the team page,
Hmm.
I didn't see his name there. That's why
Yeah, I think he's on it because, well, I know he's on it, but I saw Jamison
yeah.
Hensley make a tweet the other day. He was saying that if Huntley is not ready to go for week one, then they would make Josh Johnson quarterback two, and Huntley would be quarterback three, and was saying how it wouldn't affect the roster. You know, they got. Did you
Oh
see?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
I guess they
So
doing it through that new stipulation,
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
that.
they right. So that's how I knew because I remember the last time we did an episode, you were saying that Josh Johnson was gone. I was like, is he? So as you know, we've been gone for a couple of days, and I looked and I saw them. He's still on the team. I feel strongly about saying he's still on the team.
Okay, I'll double check. But I remember that little printout. I was like, I ain't like that what Josh Johnson name. I just seen two quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but you're right. They
Plus,
might.
I just saw the picture they posted today of the three quarterbacks and the two quarterback coaches saying the first quarterback room all black. So yeah, he's still on the same. I literally just saw that picture today.
That's good for me. I guess they doing it. I guess they doing it the way the new league, got it set up. And
Yeah,
I was
and that was
definitely.
part of why I was asking that question. Like, do you think we should keep three? Because I knew about the new rule. I don't really understand it.
Me
I
either.
was trying to read. They gave a Q&A to all the teams. I don't. I was just looking at it like, okay, whatever, you
Man,
know.
I was staring. I looked at the thing three times. I said, "Damn, did I overread it? Did I skip it?"
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
said
he's on
Uncle
the same.
Lamar. So I was like, I guess they just want to, use it. You know, that's
You know,
cool.
when you don't have a guy like Joe Flacco back there, you got to keep them three quarterbacks. Because Joe Flacco was durable.
Joe, my man. So yeah, I ain't got nothing bad to say about that. And Joe only got hurt twice in his career. So that's
once
crazy.
once he got hurt, it was like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like that. Joe had a great run, man, and shout out to
That's my
him.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here, same here, same here. I ain't got nothing but love for Flacco Valley. Well, everybody, we'll be back Thursday, same time. Me, Shannon, behind. I'm gonna do a preview. Ravens Texas game, talk some positional stuff. What to look for, keys to victory, score predictions, all that stuff like that. And Tuesday, Shannon already know how we do it. We do our recaps. I mean, she probably add our little flavor, own little weight to it. We definitely got to keep the good, bad, and ugly. Shannon know we have to keep that. That is a must.
oh
That's
yeah,
probably like the favorite subject, favorite
I
segment.
like that.
So yeah, like I
Mhm.
said, Shannon probably add our own little spin to it, which is cool. But yeah, like I said, it's strictly gonna be about the games at the end of the day. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up, Shannon?
No, I'm ready. I'm excited. We having some real football in 2 days. I have my second fantasy draft tonight at 9 o'clock, so I'm
Okay,
ready. Let's go.
look at you. I hope you win both of them and get some money.
Me
Maybe treat
too.
me to some lunch or something.
I got you. I got you.
All right. For everyone, like I said, have an amazing Tuesday. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade Talk Ravens all take Talk Ravens all day, every day. I'm your host, Justin P, and my MVP co-host, Miss Shannon. See you guys Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We are out.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, Shannon.